Alrighty. So, uh, apologize for the do-rag. It's been a while since I've been to the barber, and my fiance has been telling me that I look homeless. So, and also the beard is scruffy. So, anyways, as you can see, another Alvin Preach video. Trump voter business destroyed by tariffs. Ask for empathy. Uh, this is where it's like it might sound like I'm a hypocrite because compared to the person who was going against Trump, I prefer Trump. I don't know why. Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. We're gonna forget what they have to say in this video, and go from there. Sorry.
Okay, now previously we had a video I personally really enjoyed with like all the Trump sympathizers or illegals getting deported.
Yes.
You're undocumented and you support Donald Trump.
I support Donald Trump for the economy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just funny, bro. You can't be mad.
You know, like, and like you said, you can't be mad at him. I mean, like, for the economy, hey, I mean, but when you think about it, either way, the economy is going to be messed up. This is not going on my financial channel. This is just going to be on the normal channel. But either way, the economy was going to be crazy. So, I mean, I remember telling my dad, I was like, whoever ends up getting elected is going to be blamed for the recession and the economy all pretty much happening. Even though it technically wasn't their fault. Like, if Kamala won or if Trump won, either one of them were going to be blamed.
Because
or their families getting deported.
You have a field day with that shit.
So this was posted on our subreddit. So after the tariffs went in place, some people were very upset because it affected their bottom line, their business. And after a guy posted his struggles, somebody replied from Tanya Michelle. She said, "I love this for you."
That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy.
It triggered him.
Who?
It triggered him, and I just wanted to
That's
share it
crazy
with you.
I love this for you. I love this. Nice. I love this for you. I love to see you fail. I love to see your family be affected and hurt because you voted for Trump.
See, now this is where I say I've always somewhat stayed neutral because of the fact that anything can happen. And it's crazy to me because if it was a person being deported, he's going to be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have broke the law. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was somebody who he disagreed with their point of view on, he wouldn't have empathy for them. And that's why I view both Republicans and Democrats. They both do the exact same thing. Neither one has empathy for the other. Unless they have a similar viewpoint on a certain topic, there will be empathy. But then once those alliances diverge, empathy's all gone.
Yeah, I voted for Trump. Absolutely. Did I know he was going to increase the tariffs? Yes, I did.
So I love this for you. You got what?
Okay, so he didn't hedge. He didn't hedge properly. If he knew that about the tariffs, and he knew that if Trump got elected, the tariffs were going to affect his business. I mean, that to me is crazy. Or maybe he didn't think it was going to affect them to the extent that it did. So he definitely has to have something coming from China, or some type of relationship with China. And it's
What you wanted though. So I love this for you.
Yes, because you wanted it so badly. You got it,
But you
and I love this.
and the worst thing is that you admit that you knew he was
gonna do that
because
he said he was gonna do it.
Said he was gonna
do it right at the beginning.
Yes,
and then people told you what was gonna happen,
and you said nah.
No, I want this.
Yes, so I love
it
this for you.
I agree.
Yes,
Don't you love it for him?
I love it for you that you.
I'm not gonna lie. It's so weird to hear these guys say, "I love this for you." I don't know why. No offense to Alvin Preach, but I mean, it's weird hearing guys say stuff like that, like use on women comments.
I love it for his family too.
Or to be a little misogynistic saying female comments, just to get you a little triggered.
For everybody,
And I hope his family loves it for themselves now that they're suffering.
But that's what he wanted.
I love it when people get what they ask for.
I mean, you ask for something.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Like I do that. I go to the drive-thru.
I wish I got punched in the face.
Yeah. I go to the drive-thru and I'm like, could I get a double cheeseburger, no cheese? And they're like, of course. And they give it to me and I'm like, I love this for me.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we love it for you too. That's $5.94.
And then
Which I'm like, whoa, inflation.
And then they go, I'm loving it for you.
Yeah. I think he's trying to say that a leopard ate his face and he wasn't expected the leopard that he let out to eat his face get eaten.
However, I thought that the infrastructure would be set up prior for small business to come back to America and manufacture in America. So to wish ill.
Bad business practice right there. You shouldn't wish or hope for something to happen in a business. You should plan ahead for either scenario to happen. So that's bad business on his part. I don't know what business he has. And I mean, I'm not the world's most wisest entrepreneur either, but I'm just saying it. Like, if you know something's going to happen, you shouldn't hope that it's going to work out for you, or you have time, or they're going to try and help you out. It's like, no, that was stupid on his part.
On someone, and to love the fact that they're suffering.
Like, okay, I just gotta say this is the biggest fucking delusion I've ever heard of. Like,
Yes.
we're gonna bring back all these You will never compete with third world countries in manufacturing. It'll never happen.
No,
It's
you
not gonna
could.
happen.
You could. Your iPhone's going to cost $9,000, but you could.
You're not gonna compete with a factory that's charged.
In my opinion, it's not going to be like that. Like, even if it came down to a point where things had to be manufactured in the US, all of that would happen where the jobs would just be completely automated with like AI and robotics, and there would be no need for Americans to do anything anymore, like American jobs. So there would no longer be a need to have cheap labor, because all the labor would just be in-house, which also would, I think the thing that's crazy about something like that happening is it also completely destroy, global trade, because at that point, the countries with the most natural resources that have the technology to completely go fully automated will no longer need to trade with other countries. At least when it comes to like shipping goods and stuff like that. I mean, like, you might have to still get some materials and stuff, but a huge chunk of the things that need to be produced and then transported will be gone. Other than like just, like the raw materials you need if you don't have it in your country already.
Charging $1 an hour for their employees to do this kind of shit. They work harder.
And trust me, that is definitely going to happen within like the next 50 years. Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee that that's going to happen.
Than a lot of people in the West in these kind of menial jobs. And
Unless there's some type of, like political thing going on to where they're like, no, like you have to have at least 50% human jobs, that type of thing. But in my opinion, it's more cost effective for a business to do that, to just keep the things, if you can produce it in the same country that you're in, and then just sell it there, and then not even have to pay for labor. It just makes the most sense business wise.
And they also will work longer for less. You just can't compete. And also, I don't even think people want to do these jobs.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean? Like, right now, there's this funny thing that's happening. Trump is saying that he's going to allow illegals to stay in America if they work on a farm. Why? Because farmers are complaining that they don't know the documented status of a lot of their employees, but at the same time, these people are crucial. Why?
That's also the farmer's issue. I mean, like, you could say that like I'm not being empathetic or however you pronounce the word, whatever. But I mean, that's the farmer's issue. The farmer should have been making sure that he was hiring legal people to begin with. And I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't hire illegal people, because I think people who came here illegally just wanted to try and have an opportunity for a better life. So I'm not trying to sound like I'm the most heartless, just straight business and logical person in the world, but because I do have a lot of empathy, but I'm just saying from a business perspective and like I guess a normal life perspective, my empathy is a lot different. And it might sound like I'm a hypocrite, but so be it.
Because these illegals will do stuff on those farms that literally no other person will do it, and they'll do it for
Exactly.
dirt cheap.
Bro, less and less people want to.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you have somebody that's willing to work for, let's just say, $50 a day, when the average person in this country will want to make $200 a day, but then that person is willing to live like a very super below their means and then send that money back to their home country. This is one of the things I was thinking about. In my opinion, it would be more beneficial for every continent to just be one. And so, like, instead of it being America, Canada, Central America, and then South America, It should just be the Americas. And then yeah, people will still have their culture and like and all that stuff, and like have their own governments and all that. Well, I can't say own governments, but their own, like, I guess like more so local government body to hold elections. But I think they tried to do it with the European Union. You kind of see how it's messed up. Because you know, when you come to Brexit, anyways, I'm going all over the place. But I just think that yeah.
Work in the food industry.
Yes.
Fuck farms. People are not gonna work, do farm work, hard labor and farm work. They're not gonna do that. It's already hard to have service in a fucking drive-through.
Yes. But it's like, but they know it's crucial. So it's just like this whole pipe dream. And also, it takes a long time to build a factory, to build back industries like that. The idea of like bringing back, you know, so all these shops to be able to create this stuff, it takes a long time. Where do you think in the 4 years do you think he's gonna have time to bring back these industries and then put this shit in place?
Not even that. You don't even know if people are gonna want to apply to these jobs. Everybody wants to be an influencer, me included.
They don't want to be putting the little chips like this.
Have you seen my fat finger? These motherfuckers look like sausages.
All right, let's keep listening to this.
I ain't got this kill.
Hey, shit.
Fuck on it.
It's funny, you can see the veins of Abba's head. That's how you know he's holding back the laugh.
Yeah, bro.
To love the fact that their family is being negatively affected because I didn't vote the same way that you did is fucked up. It really is. It shouldn't matter. Anyone that enters my life, I'm going to judge you of who you are, how you are as a human being. Are you kind? Are you polite? Are you sincere?
But you're gonna vote for someone that is not kind, not polite, not sincere. That's crazy for me. But I love it for you.
I love it for you. I feel zero sympathy because you know damn well that this is libs voting for whoever the fuck it is, and that shit came to bite them in the ass. They would be running circles being like, bitch, I told you so.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, you're always gonna have like this bashing of heads to where if something bad happens to the other person, you're gonna say like, "Oh, I love this for you." Like, you're gonna like mock them and say, "Oh, like, well, you should have thought better or whatever. Or you should have voted for X, Y, and Z, whatever." But man, I don't really have empathy for either Republicans or Democrats, man. Even though I do, like, I guess, lean a little bit more to the right. But I view myself more so as an independent. And the only reason I say I view myself more to the right, a little bit toward the right, because it seems like the left has completely... I used to be on the left, so don't get me wrong, but it seems like they've completely gone into this weird direction, and I think it's ridiculous.
Kamala's gonna make...
But let me also correct myself in saying this. I think the right is doing the exact same thing. It's like this huge extreme between both parties. And I would just vote Libertarian or third party, but... You know, it's like, what am I gonna waste gas and go vote for when I know the person from a third party isn't even gonna win?
Make your kid gay. In fact, half of this campaign, all I heard was like, "Oh, y'all mad because we winning? Fuck, I can't stop winning." Y'all was throwing it in their face.
Yeah.
Every day people were throwing it in the face, and I didn't mind, right? You guys made collages of liberals crying their hearts out after.
Yeah, I did too. That shit was so funny. That shit was so funny.
You want to do that as the victor? I don't give a fuck.
No, but that was kind.
And it was polite, and it was so nice. Like I said, it's okay. When you guys up there and he's insulting everybody, calling them whatever nicknames, we laugh at it. It's okay. I'm gonna laugh at you now. You voted for stupid, you got stupid results. You know,
I don't think he voted for stupid. I just think that he didn't plan like his business in the right in a proper manner. Like, I don't think he voted stupid. I think he just practices business in a non-logical way and in a hopeful manner rather than a logical manner.
None of this was unknown. Like, can we just... Every economist was saying, what? If you put these tariffs in place, you're going to fuck up the global economy and your own. It's going to rise prices on everything. Now what happened, everyone's like, oh my God, I think a leopard ate my face. And also, who you vote for matters. I'm sorry, I will judge people based off who they vote for. Especially if who they're... Like, imagine I'm an LGBTQ person, okay? And I see you across the...
Like this is like where me and I usually agree with Abba on a lot of things, but I don't think you should vote. You should judge somebody for based off who they vote for. Like I would think it would just depend on like the reasons why they're voting for them. Like if somebody's just gonna vote for them because they're just a popular person to vote for, I think that's ridiculous. But if somebody could actually come with like logic and like solid reasoning on why they're gonna vote for somebody, I think that's respectable. You know, even though I didn't like Kamala, like if somebody was to give me an exact like my grandmother, my grandmama, she gave me a valid reason why she didn't like Trump and then why she was gonna vote for Kamala, and you gotta commend that. I mean, like if to me it's just crazy when they're gonna vote for somebody because they don't like Trump. Like they'll vote for anybody other than Trump, even if they're like incapable of being president. It's just better than Trump, and I think that that's the crazy part, and that's where I would judge you. But I wouldn't judge somebody based off if they have a different opinion than me and there's like a reason for it, like a valid reason.
I was saying you're going to vote for Trump or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to judge you for it. Why? Because you have somebody who's trying to infringe on a lot of my liberties. If I'm a woman who's pro-choice and you're my good friend and you tell me you're voting for Trump, I'm going to look at you differently because it affects my liberties. Absolutely. The idea you don't judge people for who they vote for is insane. But does that mean I'm going to say you're a horrible, worse? No.
Yeah, see, I think I don't agree with Abba on this at all because I think it's like the same thing for people who are on the right. Like they view the people on the left as voting against them. So it's like it's weird. I don't agree with Abba at this at all. At all.
But I'm going to judge you. It's inevitable. Who you vote for, where you choose to spend a lot of your money.
It is a sickness.
The things that you donate to, all of these reflect on you. And to pretend like it doesn't, you guys spend all this time judging people based off who they associate. Anyone takes a picture with Epstein, you're like, oh, look at this fucking pedophile lover. But then you don't think who you vote for consciously doesn't reflect on you?
Yeah, okay. And also to talk about the Epstein. When people take pictures with Epstein took pictures with a lot of people. I don't like even people that took pictures with Diddy. If you take a picture of somebody and y'all are in the same, like, I guess, like circle or social circle or like just happen to go to the same parties and there's a picture taken, I'm not going to automatically assume that you're some weirdo. I think it's just like it's like one of the things that a lot of people do whenever there's some type of controversy around somebody, they instantly associate the people around them with that thing, which I don't agree with.
That's how I judge you, not who you voted for. I've got far left-leaning friends. I got far right-leaning friends. It doesn't matter to me. I like you based on who you are. But to see someone hurt and their business fail and their family be affected because they didn't vote the way you...
No. I don't like the way you're framing this. They're not... They're not happy because... They're not happy, but they're not...
I'm happy.
Wait, they're not happy because you didn't vote the same way they voted. Mm-hmm. They're having a little fun time or saying that you kind of deserve that because you voted for someone that said that would do exactly what they did, hence affecting your business because they did whatever they did and you knew they were going to do that and then you voted for that. It has nothing to do with like, oh, you voted different than me, then I don't care. You could... No. That's not where the joke is. Yep. The joke is you knew.
Hey, this is...
Yeah, I agree with Preach on that. I think this guy is overthinking it and probably just emotional that his business is failing, which I don't blame him for. Anybody would be emotional about that.
If you vote there, you're going to get punched in the face, kicked in the nuts, and they're going to take all your teeth. Yeah. If you vote that and they do that and you're like, owie, mommy, I had a boo-boo, we going to laugh.
It's literally just like the illegals who are like, I support Trump. They couldn't vote, but they said support, even if it means I get deported. I'm like, cool. Gets deported, starts crying. Or the other guy who could vote didn't think it would be his family of illegals, and then they get deported, starts crying.
Didn't he say that he would deport people?
I don't feel bad for you.
Didn't he say that he was going to deport people?
Oh,
so you are a person that is the target, and you say, no, I support him.
And I'm curious, if this tariff issue was affecting a liberal and it was ruining their business, I don't think you'd show them even 1 ounce of grace.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's like, you can't expect empathy when you aren't going to be willing to give empathy either. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if it was a liberal's business who was affected, he would be saying something. I'm pretty sure he doesn't seem like the same type of person that would say, "I love this for you," but he would say something and make fun of them, or maybe like it or like the post or whatever.
So I just don't feel bad for you.
It's fucked up. I'm sorry, a lot of you are fucked up. I'm sorry. We should all care about each other regardless of who we voted for.
So let's vote for.
No, I will tell you, I do agree with that. Like, if you voted for Trump or Kamala, and you're not like some evil person, like I got love for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think we should all, cohabitate and try and do what's best for the economy, society, globally as a whole. I mean, I think it's weird how people will judge another person just based off how they vote or their viewpoints. Like I said, if there's a logical reason on why they have a viewpoint, I think you should somewhat respect it. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of things in this world that I don't agree with, that like my friends do, or the habits they have, or whatever. But it doesn't mean that I have any less love for them because, like, they're friends. You know what I mean? Or even just people in general.
For someone that doesn't care about a lot of the people. Nah, bro.
Are you mad because we don't feel for you? What happened to facts don't care about your feelings? Right? That's what you were telling all the liberals when they were sharing how distraught they were. Facts don't care about your feelings. I love winning. Shut your ass up.
I mean, facts still don't care about your feelings. The problem is that facts don't care about nobody's feelings, including yours.
Facts. And you know what, though? Like, underneath all this stuff, there's actually like a lot of people who are righteously suffering. There's a lot of businesses who are going under for people who didn't vote for Trump. And it's like a lot of people who are commenting online aren't affected. Even us, like, we don't have products that are sourced from China or sourced from a lot of other places, so we're not feeling it. But there's some tragic stories of people who had functional businesses, and because of all this tariff and all this confusion, they literally don't know how they're going to make it the next 2 months because they can't get any of their supply. We might laugh about this, we might joke about this or whatever it might be, but at the end of the day, a lot of real people are going to be suffering from this. And unfortunately, a lot of people voted for this, even though they were warned what was going to happen. Look at this.
And what we're hearing from the administration is a celebration of the president's moves here. First, the tariffs, and now describing the pause as a stroke of kind of strategic economic genius. We've seen investors seem to be breathing a sigh of relief. Are you breathing a sigh of relief?
No, not at all. The news yesterday almost feels like the nail in the coffin for us.
Tell me why.
I have products in China right now produced, ready to ship. They were supposed to get on a boat yesterday and come to America. And I can't ship them because what would have cost me maybe $30,000 with a reasonable tariff now is going to cost me almost $200,000. And I have to have.
That's gaming.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, why
That's
she
crazy.
can't get it? Because we don't make the stuff in America. And he didn't set up anything in place to make the kind of stuff in America.
Even if you did, it would take years for that to happen.
So it's just like, it's.
I will say this briefly. I do think that the whole tariff deficit was an issue. I mean, they've been talking about this for like the last 30, since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been talking about this since like the 80s or the 90s. And yeah, I mean, I just think that Trump was the first president to actually say that, hey, look, you know what? This is an issue. I'm trying to get reelected. This is what I'm gonna run on. And then he followed through. I will say this. As many politicians who run for office or a position in government, and all the ones that lie, you got to give it up to Trump for at least following through on what he said he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him credit for that. I'm not the biggest fan of Trump, but like I said, when it comes between Trump and Kamala or Trump and Biden, it just seemed like I just didn't like who the Democrats had running then, ever since 2016, when they got rid of Bernie Sanders, I've shifted a little bit more towards the right, man. I just didn't like how they did my man Bernie.
It's so irresponsible. And while everyone's like, oh my God, this is winning, you're just destroying a bunch of people's lives, your neighbors, your people. So, if that's what you voted for and that's what you're okay with, then that's fine. But Me seeing this kind of stuff and seeing a bunch of stories like this, and even hearing from friends of mine who work in different American departments or work for the government, and seeing how this is all unfolding for them, they're all coming to the realization of how bad this is really getting.
It's like you said something about all the experts were saying, like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. That's not what I heard from the experts. What I heard the most from the experts was, this is not how tariffs works. You think that it's China that's going to pay. It's you guys. It's always the customer that's going to pay. That's what I heard.
I'll say this, like, there's an economist and a business person I was listening to maybe about 2 weeks ago. He was saying that all that's going to happen is China's most likely going to move a lot of products to like Thailand or South Korea or something like that. And it was one of those Southeast Asian countries. And then just move stuff out that way to avoid the tariffs. I mean, if China ships products from China to Taiwan, or the companies send their products from China to Taiwan, have the facility or have something else in Taiwan that makes it a Taiwanese product, or I won't even say Taiwan. We'll go with Thailand. We'll go with Thailand. If they send something to Thailand and then it becomes a okay, I might have butchered Taiwan and Taiwanese and Thailand. I don't know. But anyway, if the product comes from Thailand and it becomes a Thailand product and the tariffs from Thailand and the US are cheaper, that's just I mean, when it comes to all this political stuff, there's always a workaround. If you really care, if you're really willing to like pay a little extra money, there's a workaround. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like the 30,000 to 200,000 is a little bit of money, but if I was that lady and I needed my product and it was going to originally cost me 30,000, I would tell the facility, ship it to a country that's near you. Then from that place, I'll have somebody else pick it up. I'm going to need a reduced price, because people in China are having this the same effect that the US is having. So I mean, you also got to consider that a lot of these factories in China that are struggling are having the same issue. So say that, hey, look, I know I was going to pay you 30,000. Can we make it 20,000 or 25,000 for me to get the product? I'm going to have somebody from Thailand ship it from Thailand to the US where there's only a 5% tariff or whatever. You know, there's ways to work around that. So I mean, in my opinion, if this is affecting your business, you got to be willing to kind of like almost I won't even say cut corners, but get a little bit more innovative.
And yet
they still up for it.
And I have to have that money when the products get to customs. And
okay, and then I also think this: if you're probably like, oh, this guy isn't being affected, so he doesn't understand. I mean, like, look, I don't know your situation, but I'm just saying that, like, there's always a workaround. There's always a way to make something work. Do you think Andrew Carnegie was gonna let this affect him? Do you think John D. Rockefeller was gonna let something like this affect him? No, I mean, like, there's been plenty of entrepreneurs who have done illegal things to make sure that their business stayed afloat, or done things that were, I guess, frowned upon in society, but they did what they had to do to keep the business running, regardless of whatever was going on politically at the time. So it's like, get your hands dirty, and I mean, do what you got to do.
I don't have that, nothing close to that. It's not even reasonable. So I have to leave my goods in China until I figure out some other direction. But what that means is when I run out of stock in 2 to 3 months, I no longer have products to sell and no more revenue coming in, which means I can't pay my bills, can't pay my employees, and everything I have, all of my debt. I have my house leveraged. We have 5 employees. My house is leveraged against our loans for our growth into Walmart and Target. I can't pay those bills. I don't even want to think about it.
Damn. See what she's doing? She's doing one of those techniques that I learned to not cry. You just flexing muscles just to like fucking neurologically divert your brain's attention.
No, it's not even that. Is that whenever you flex muscles, you spend more calories and you get hotter. You know what I mean? So all the water gets sucked back in your body to hydrate, and then so you're trying to flex the.
She is doing everything. I could only imagine. No, but if I'm teetering on bankruptcy and I have to listen to this fucking goofball change his mind about tariffs every single time.
The reason why she's crying online is because when you say that, there's a realization that of what's happening.
Yeah,
you're saying in 2 to 3 months. That's tomorrow morning. Like it's
For a business, that's nothing.
For a business, that is nothing. So she's realizing that, yo,
I'm sorry.
we're talking about that, and it's done.
She'll lose her house. Now imagine somebody with kids and husband, and then having to try to start a business with no line of credit afterwards because you went bankrupt.
Well,
whew. But again,
in the land of the free and the home of the brave.
hey, this is what winning looks like, guys. This is what winning looks like. Meanwhile, there's one clip that was posted on our subreddit that really stood out to me. This is the last one I'll play. Shout out to our subreddit, man. They be posting some good.
I think I saw this one because I was on the subreddit like 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, I saw this one.
It's not just a company, it's actually an individual. And he made $2.5 billion today, and he made $900 million.
So him and his buddies are all bragging about the fact that just before he made the announcement that tariffs were going to be paused, they bought a bunch of stock. So one of them made $900 million and the other one made $2.5 billion. And they're just openly laughing. See, these people can afford to laugh. Yeah. This is why I always tell y'all, I don't care.
Okay, if you look at my my financial YouTube channel, which is just Eon Galactic, I was saying that like everybody's talking about tariffs like the weekend before he announced what he just said, that a majority of them were like talking and trying to negotiate to get lower tariffs. And I think like I said, the only one who wasn't like budging was China. So and I still think people are over exaggerating this whole tariff thing. I don't think that it's going to be, I think it's horrible right now, of course, as you can see, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as everybody's making out to seem, because eventually people are going to start to maneuver different to get to avoid the tariff. And or somebody's going to break, either China or America's going to break first, and then we just got to see how the cookie crumbles. I mean, but I think that people were over exaggerating the whole tariff thing. Like every single country wasn't going to try and come forward and try and negotiate with Trump to get lower tariffs from their country. And I think it's like 5 or 10% now, but it's way lower than it was for a lot of those countries. I think some of those countries like 100% tariffs, and there was a deficit for the US. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Who gets elected at the end of the day, because me, as somebody in my tax bracket, we gonna be straight. Most of the times, these kinds of people always benefit us. The people that get shafted are the people who make substantially less. It's always like that. The people who are, operating on the thinnest of margins when it comes to profits. And that's most businesses in my experience. So, if you want to vote for a leopard to eat your face, it is what it is. But for everyone who didn't and who's suffering, I feel for you guys. Do I feel for the people who vote? Nah, I don't.
See, I mean, kind of like, even though I've said a lot of things in this video, I feel for everybody whose business is being affected. But I also think that you knew what was coming. Like, you knew he was talking about tariffs this whole time. So it's like, before this whole tariff thing even started, why, if you could, why didn't you buy more product from China? I mean, like, the only country that this whole tariff thing was going to be a real issue for was China. So if you source goods from China, I don't see why you didn't plan ahead for that. But I do sympathize with you from a personal perspective. I sympathize with you but from a business perspective, it's just that, like, the empathy from a business perspective for me is just like there is none. But from a personal perspective, I really do feel for you. And it's so weird how, like, I probably sound crazy for having these two different opinions, but yeah.
I don't, because you were warned. You know what I mean? Like everybody warned you and you threw it in their face. Trump supporters were obnoxious this whole election.
I like the way you said that. I like the way you said they were obnoxious.
Oh, they was DMing me.
But see, the thing, it was the same thing when Biden won in 2020. Like, I think both people were obnoxious. But when they won, liberals were obnoxious. When Trump wins, Republicans are obnoxious. It's like, it's going to be obnoxious either way you go.
We winning so much. Are you winning now, stupid? Oh, we winning. Okay. All right then. It's cool.
The thing is that I would feel for them. I would feel for them a lot more if Trump did a complete 180.
Yeah.
If he did a 180, it's like, oops, he did that thing, and then everybody's caught by surprise. I'd be like, yeah, shit. He fucked you over. But now, I gotta give it to him. He did exactly what he said he was about to do.
I mean, hey, listen, I ain't complaining. Up here, a liberal's probably gonna win the election because of it. Maybe the liberals were in the fucking toilet.
Maybe it's,
Okay, hold up. Here's what's not debatable. Maybe they won't win, but right now it's close. Before it wasn't even a question.
no, not even a question.
Before the conservatives were supposed to win.
Yeah. He is right. He is right. Because I know, like, man, when I'm in a lot of like these like Toronto and Canadian chat rooms, man, people hate the liberals. Oh man, especially in these major cities, boy, they hate liberals. But now, I mean, we'll see what happens, because it is looking like it's going to be a lot closer than it was, especially after Trudeau stepped down.
Now, because of this whole tariff situation, everything's flipped on its head, and it's very likely, based off polls right now, that the liberals are going to win. So, I got nothing else. You got something else?
No.
All right, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you guys enjoy that guy crying at the beginning? I did.
You think it's gonna get bad before it gets worse?
So I think it's going to get worse before it gets...
No. Do you think it's gonna get bad? Like, yeah, it's gonna get worse before it gets worse.
Yes. Yeah, that's the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of things that have to happen within the next 2 months. I think it's like the 2 to 3 months where the Fed and the Fed's supposed to cut interest rates, so markets will probably go up. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to make this a financial channel, but this is the channel for me to kind of give my views on the things in the world that aren't finance. So, yep. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out, older Eon. Or to my family who watches this. I love you guys and my friends. Peace.
Man, even Jesus had a shooter, and God be having unbelievers that didn't mess up their demeanor. And yes, they know it's hard, they know, cause when they be up in those trenches, man, they show